so funny how we don't talk anymore.
We're going to be talking to our friend Sir Cliff Richard. He's going to be sharing showbiz stories from a 7-decade career, and we're going to be grilling him and also Glo about their antics at his wild 80th birthday celebrations. Don't you zip those lips. We want them unbuttoned. Right. Do you know, and all this talking about dreaming, it leads very nicely actually to our guest today. Well, not only is his autobiography called The Dreamer, but he is one of the biggest-selling recording artists of all time. He's a national treasure, and he is a Loose Women firm favourite. Even the Queen is a fan, having just celebrated his 80th birthday.
Wow.
Sir Cliff Richard joins us now. Before we chat to him, though, let's have a quick recap on his incredible 7-decade career. Ah, Sir Cliff. Welcome to Loose Women. But before we get started, we do have to say happy birthday for the 14th. How did you celebrate turning 80?
Thank you. Well, I mean, I had planned to celebrate with 20,000 people over 4 days at the Royal Albert Hall. But, of course, I had to cut it down to 6.
It's such a nightmare when that happens.
Listen, I know. Listen, I'm hearing you girls talk about dreams. Gloria, you digging for coins, and the more you dig, the more the coins. It's very simple, darling. You're just a gold digger.
Only you could say that, Cliff.
Now, Gloria, we had hoped that you and Cliff would be together to do this interview today. Obviously, socially distanced, but, you know, it wasn't to be.
They couldn't have two 80-year-olds sitting together. The thing is, look, I'll have you close to me anyway.
It's got to clip off.
Well,
I know we're being very nice.
Glo, I tell you what, it's probably just as well, you know, girls, that I wasn't with Glo. We come to blows.
Nice blows, though.
What does that mean? Because I have to say, Sir Cliff, Gloria has been hinting that you are not quite the goody-goody that people may think that you are, that actually you're quite a cheeky chappy after you've had a few little Sauvignon Blancs.
Well, I should set the scene here, though, because people always say, I mean, Cliff, I'm sure he doesn't drink or doesn't do anything, really. But on your birthday night, I was very lucky to be there as one, of course, of 6, which you had to stick to. But you said to me, I hope you're not driving home. Make sure you have a driver. So I actually don't drink that much. But that night, I drank every colour in sight. Didn't matter whether it was white, red, champagne, port, whatever it was, I drank it. So there we go. That's my quota for the year. Cheers to you as well.
Well, I got my glass of rosé because it says a glass of rosé might keep the virus away.
Oh,
it's
good.
definitely keeping you looking absolutely fabulous at 80. That must be your secret.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure it is, but the lockdown has been really strange because I was in Barbados when the lockdown started in March, and we couldn't have anybody come and look after us, no gardeners or anybody around, so I learned how to clean toilets.
Wow.
I can vacuum floors. I know how to use the washing machine and the dishwasher and the stove. So as soon as this program is over, I am available as a housekeeper.
Welcome to our world.
I do not like the pink pinny that you wear when you're doing it, so don't wear that pink apron anymore.
Okay.
You know, I tell you what, I mean, there are many, many things I love about you, Cliff, obviously. I've known you 50 years. But you know what I like probably most is the fact that you're so competitive. You don't want to be number 3 or 4 in the chart. You want to be number 1. You want to win. And I think that zest you've had since the late 50s, really. So where did all of that come from?
I think it came from the fact that when I first made my record, the first record was called Move It. It hadn't been released, but my father had come to terms with the fact that maybe something good was going to happen for me. And he sat me down and he said, "Do you really want this?" And I said, "Yep, I really want it." Then he said to me, "Okay, as my son, you are going to have to be the best that you can be every time you attempt to do something." And I think that sort of registered with me, and I try to explain it in interviews that what happened was that I became very focused. The minute I heard Elvis, I knew what I wanted to do. I mean, thousands of us wanted to be like Elvis, and just a very few of us got lucky. But I focused, and I think I focus on things like that by not living in the past. And of course, you know, it's much better to be #1 than, you know, 101 or 80.
Well, Cliff, speaking about being #1, your #1 hero was Elvis, and Gloria has spoken a lot this morning about telling us how you used to practice your Elvis in the mirror. And have you got anything that you can show us that you used to do with your performances? And have you taken anything from that into your own performances when you're on tour?
Well, when I first started, you see, I mean, it wasn't just a matter of dreaming to be like Elvis. The dreams I had were, and I was always disappointed in the morning, I had dreams that I was Elvis. So I'd wake up and suddenly I wasn't. But, and of course he affected me. If you hear some of the early the B-sides, like for instance, the B-side of my first #1 Living Doll, I think that was called, I can't remember. But it was, if you listen to it, I sound a bit like Elvis.
Yeah.
I tried to sound like him, and it was a TV producer called Jack Good who put me onto his show called Oh Boy. He said, get rid of your sideburns and get rid of that guitar. Stop trying to be like Elvis. And I took his word, and I stopped trying to be like Elvis. And
didn't he show you how to stand and move?
sorry?
Didn't he show you, Jack Good, show you how to stand and how to shape your face and everything?
Oh, he was an incredible TV producer because he was really a director. I mean, it wasn't just me. Marty Wilde was on the show, Billy Fury was on the show, Dickie Pride, Vince Eager. He would, when it came to do our song, he'd say to me, for instance, when you sing that line, I want you to turn to the camera sideways. Always look up to the lens. And he said, on that other line, I want you just to grab your arm. And so he directed us, and I still feel that his instructions to me have carried me through. I've always tried to think of how I would present the song, whether I should move this leg or that leg, will I stand still? So he was really very, very part of making me the performer I am.
Well, so Cliff, you talk about your humble beginnings in your book, and one of the things that I was really, well, I knew this anyway, and my parents used to say, that Cliff Richard is a very good Indian boy. Now, you were born in India, of course. Do you still have a love for that country? Do you still go back?
I've been back to India a number of times because I support a charity called Tear Fund. And although I've not done anything with them in just recent months or years even, I went many times to India and always had a good feeling going back there. But I was always surprised because as a child, everything was seen through the child's eyes. I used to like the kite flying and stuff like that. And when it rained where we were, the water would be up to our knees and we'd walk about in it, up there, my Indian friends, young mates. And so I've always had a feeling for India. But of course, you know, when we were there in India, I was born to grandparents who had children, my mum and dad. My mum and dad had never seen anywhere but India, had us, and we still talked about coming back to Blighty. That's the thing that gets me. I'm not even sure what Blighty is, but we were always coming home to Blighty.
Yeah.
So India was never really home, but my memories of it are still warm and nice.
Oh, it's lovely.
Do you know that there's many people, myself included, actually, who fully understand what that feels like when you're growing up overseas and you always think of Blighty as being home, and then you come over here and you don't fit in because you've spent your whole life living overseas. Cliff, we're going to have to go to a break just now, but you're not going anywhere because we're keeping you right here on this show because we love you. So stay right where you are. Don't go anywhere.
We all love you, Cliff. We all love you.
Okay.
We do. We should have had banners. Because still to come, we're asking, when it comes to feeling sexy, does it start in the head or the bed? And Cliff is going to be turning us on in just a moment. Our lights, that is, as we try to spread some early festive cheer. So don't you go anywhere.
Christmas time, mistletoe and wine, children
Oh, hello, welcome back. We're going to be finding out why Sir Cliff Richard has given up on his topless calendar shots. The nation that's devastated. As well as asking, when it comes to feeling sexy, does it start in the bed or in your head? Now, having spent 4 Christmases at #1, Cliff is a Christmas icon. So today we are declaring it's officially Cliffmas. So, Sir Cliff, will you do the honours of turning on our special Cliffmas lights? We've sent you a little
Absolutely.
special plunger, so I'll count you down. 5,
Okay. 5,
4,
3,
3, 2,
3.
1.
I declare all the lights on.
Merry Christmas! Oh, do you know, we needed a bit of that
we
today.
need a bit of a
did.
Everybody needs a bit of sun.
It's just such a gloomy day, and if you think we're doing this too early, the Oxford Street lights are going on tonight, and apparently one of our lovely viewers, Caroline Gabe, she's had her lights on for a month. So there we are.
Why not?
We're actually behind
Why
her.
not?
Look at the special baubles.
So
Isn't that
pretty.
wonderful? You got
They're going
Cliffmas
to
envy.
disappear very quickly.
Now, Sir Cliff has turned on our Cliffmas lights, so Christmas has officially begun here at Lusamin. But we're not letting them go anywhere. What does sex appeal mean to you? You're the king of the topless calendar, for goodness sake.
Well, I'm not sure I know what that really means, because I think I'm just naturally sexy.
Yes.
Yes, you
Yes,
are.
you can
Yes,
be.
you are.
You are.
You tell them.
If I can say though, I'm not sure that if you try to be sexy, I don't think it really works. But you know, there is a sort of sensuality between men and women. It's going to happen whether one likes it or not. And maybe I'd like to think that maybe on stage I was more sensual than sexy. You know, I'm never sort of. Well, I did take my shirt off for a calendar shoot once.
Or twice.
Why have you stopped?
Is it true that...
Why did I stop?
Why have you
Yeah,
stopped?
why did you stop?
What do you mean, continue stripping?
Too
Yes.
right. If you've got it, flaunt it, Cliff. You've still
tell you
got
what,
it.
If it wasn't such a cold
No,
day
what I
today
say
where you
now
are,
is what I say now is if you haven't got it, you flaunt it.
do you know what I say? I say nothing
What?
like bikinis or anything that Saira says. I think a nice piece of white satin or silk does the trick.
Gloria, you saucy minx.
So, Saira, what
Yes.
was it that
Why
led you
not?
to do all of those videos? What was that about?
Well, do you know what? It was on my Instagram. It was all about Sexy Week. And for the first time in my life, at the age of 50, going through the menopause, I have embraced what it means to be sexy. And for me, it's about embracing my age, embracing the fact that I'm confident about my imperfect body. And I just think we need that to feel feminine sometimes and to be connected with who we really are, because if you don't love yourself, you can't feel sexy and you can't kind of really then expect other people to kind of love you back. So it's about owning who you are,
Yeah.
regardless of your body shape, and just embrace it.
And you touched on age there as well. I mean,
Yeah.
you're 50, we're 51.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you both. I mean, obviously, Cliff and Glo, you're 80. Do you think that absolutely feeling good about yourself is where feeling, whether you call it sensual, sexy, whatever, that's where
Well,
it starts, is feeling good about
The
yourself?
answer is we've still got it, haven't we, Cliff?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, I think that as you age, you have to be, I think, much more careful. And I've been really careful looking after myself, so that if I don't look 80, it's probably because I got some good genes, and that's a lucky factor. But I think I agree with you. Once you feel happy with yourself, once you feel comfortable with where you are, what you are, who you are,
Yeah.
you can then be appealing
Yes.
Yeah.
in all sorts of ways.
Cliff, I'd like to know what your secret is and if you've got it in a bottle that we can buy, because, I mean, you know, you always look so good. You're just ageless.
I'm not sure. It's just there's no secret to it, really. I mean, I just think that I've been very, focused in my life, and the last thing I wanted was to be photographed looking fat or frumpy. I can remember watching Coronation Street when one of the characters, Minnie Caldwell, they were talking about movies, and she said, "Oh, I love that chubby Cliff Richard." And I thought, "Chubby Cliff Richard." And the strange thing is, I had come back from a tour of America where we had toured right through and gone
I'm
through
so
the night,
sorry.
stopping
We're
at
going to
4
have
in the
to
morning,
stop you
steak
mid-com.
and chips.
Cliff, I'm so sorry. We're coming to the end of the show now. We will carry on chatting, but the viewers at home, we're going to have to say goodbye. Cliff's book, The Dreamer, is out now, and his album, Music, The Air That I Breathe, is out now as well. We're going to say goodbye now.